Let's start with today's topic. Today's topic is somewhat related to some analytical solutions of fluid motion. So we'll start with that. Now let's focus upon certain common terms which we all are familiar with, like what is streamlines, what are trajectories, and what are streak lines. Streamlines, trajectories, and streak lines. Now, the fluid motion can be visualized uh, based upon their velocity field. Now, they can be categorized into three categories. One is streamline, trajectory, and streak line. Now, what is a streamline? We talk about streamline. Now, streamline is basically, we can say that it's a tangent to tangent at every point to the velocity vector. That is your streamline. Like suppose a fluid is flowing in this direction. So at each given point on this flow field, the tangent. So these tangents are basically your streamlines. The streamline is a line tangent at every point to the velocity vector. So that is a streamline. When we talk about trajectory is the track followed by the fluid particles. That is the trajectory. Trajectory is the path followed by the fluid particles. There's a trajectory. And then comes the third term, which is what is a streak line. A streak line is a geometric place occupied by the fluid particles. It's a geometrical field, you can say, occupied by the fluid particles that have passed the same point at previous times. That is the fluid which are basically passing through a single point at the same time repeatedly. So that is the geometrical field. So these are the three different type of flow geometries we talk about. That is streams, what are streams, what are trajectories, and what are streak lines. Now, sometimes for I can also in a layman language you can explain the trajectory and what are streaks. Now, for example, the braking marks on the road, like four-wheeler or two-wheeler braking marks on the road indicate the position of the tire has been occupied while the wheel was being dragged. So कभी कभार roads पे अगर बहुत जोर से brake मारते तो you notice the scratches of the tire on the road, the path that is basically the wheel that has been dragged on the road. So those brake marks are basically your trajectories. Also, sometimes in an open field, you must have seen some smoke particles ejected from the nozzle. So the line formed by the smoke particles ejected into the atmosphere from a fixed nozzle are basically the streak lines. So all the particles will previously will be following through the same given point. So that is the streaks. Now let's focus upon the streamlines and all these things. Now let's suppose uh, let us suppose there is a streamline and the fluid particles passes through that streamline and travel a distance ds. Suppose this is the some streamline, and somewhere here the particle is having the position its position p1, and let's say it travels a distance ds. And it moves from position p1 to, let's say, position p2. Now at position p1, let's assume the axis are, this is x axis, this is y axis, and this is z axis. let's assume that it moves a distance. Let's say it moves from position P1 to position 2 as it travels the distance ds across this streamline given by this thing. Now, let's assume that the displacement or the distance, through which this particle traveled from position P1 to P2 has the displacement components as dx. Let's suppose it moves this distance dx, then it moves by a distance dy, and then it moves to this distance, let's say by dz. Let's say the particle moved in such a way that the displacement in the x direction is dx, displacement in the y direction is dy, and the displacement in the z direction is dz. Now, that means the velocity component when the fluid moves in a distance dx. Let's say the velocity vector is vx. When the fluid was moving, when the fluid have a displacement of dx in the x direction. Let's say when it moves by a distance dy, it has a velocity component dy, and when it moves with the displacement dz, it has the velocity component dz. Now, during the same time interval, dt, that means in a game, even at same given time interval dt, we say that Vx is dx by dt. We say Vy as dy by dt, and we say Vz as dz by dt. Now, if the time interval is same, so can we say that dx by Vx is same as dy by Vy is same as dz by Vz? So that's the equation of your streamline. So this is the equation of your streamline. Streamline is your dx by dx equal to dy by Vy equal to dz by Vz. That's the equation of your streamline. Now, in a two-dimensional flow, if we have a 2D flow, then in a given xy plane, then the equation of streamline will be nothing but dx by vx equal to dy by vy. We'll be using these equations to solve the equation of the streamline. Now, what's the significance of basically this we can also write it as nothing but dy by dx as nothing but vx by vy. That is the slope of the plane. This is the slope of the plane. The slope of the plane is nothing but the ratio of the two velocity components, that is vx by vy. For if you want to find out the slope of any streamline in a 2D flow, so that is nothing but the ratio of the velocity of vx to vy. Now, what's the significance of this streamline? Number one, there are 3 points which you need to remember. Number one, I'll write the significance of the streamline. Number one, it's the streamlines do not cross each other. Streamlines do not cross each other. That means they'll be traveling parallel to each other. There won't be, this won't be happening like this. If so, this is one streamline, this is the other stream. This is not possible. This is true. The reason being, because suppose if they cross each other, that means at a single given point, that is over here, at a single given point, at the point of intersection, any fluid particle will have two fluid velocities, which is not possible. So this doesn't happen. So that's why the streamlines always moves parallel to each other. So intermixing of streamlines is not physically possible. Number two, there cannot be any movement of fluid across the streamline. That is, suppose there is one streamline and there is a movement of flow across this. This never happens. Clear? The fluid cannot cross perpendicularly to the streamlines. It doesn't happen. So there cannot be any movement of fluid mass across the streamline. That is, mass cannot cross the streamline. And third is the spacing between the streamlines is inversely proportional to the velocity. The spacing between the streamlines is inversely proportional to the velocity. That means suppose if there is a convergence of the streamlines, if there is a conversion of the streamlines, obviously at the conversion the distance is less between any two given streamlines. So at the convergence at any given direction, there will be a high velocity at that particular point. That is, it shows the fluid is being accelerated in the flow of the direction. So spacing, अगर जितनी ज़्यादा spacing होगी between streamlines, उतनी velocity कम होगी, और जितनी convergence होगी streamline की, उतनी ज़्यादा velocity between the streamlines होगी. So that's the significance of the streamline. Now moving further, let's come to something relatively something new. Now any, हाँ जी बेटा.
सर सेकंड पॉइंट क्या लिखा है आपने इसके अंदर?
सेकंड पॉइंट ये लिखा है कि कोई भी फ्लो ऑफ अ मास है, फ्लूइड का कोई भी मास है, दैट कैन नॉट क्रॉस द स्ट्रीमलाइन. सपोज दो स्ट्रीमलाइंस जा रही हैं, ठीक है, एंड देयर इज सम कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ फ्लूइड component A in this streamline. So that fluid mass cannot cross the streamline. It has to move along the streamline. ये नहीं है कि fluid mass cross करके निकल जाएगा. It doesn't happen. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Moving further, now let's come to the new something new concept called rotational and irrotational type of flows. Rotational and irrotational flows. Now, again, the fluid motion can be categorized as translational or rotational. Now, they may exist independently or they may exist simultaneously. Now, suppose if we have a solid body of a square shape, let's suppose we have a solid body of a square shape. Now, when we say translational means the fluid or the solid body just transformed from this particular point towards this particular point. That means it moves by a distance dx and it moves by a distance dy. That is, it moves from this distance dx and it moves in this direction. So this is your pure translational of the fluid, pure translation. And when we say pure rotation means the fluid got rotated at a specific angle. That is, this suppose the fluid got rotated by an angle theta, so it must appear something like this. So this is your pure rotational kind of a thing. So the fluid motion can be categorized as pure translational or it can be categorized as pure rotational. Now suppose if we have a fluid, again let's consider again the same fluid body, fluid element. Now this fluid element, let's suppose it can be subjected to deformation also during the its fluid motion. Now when we say deformation, now that deformation can be give me a minute, bache. Yes, so there can be the deformation of the fluid body also. Now that deformation can be in terms of linear or it can be in terms of an angular. Now when we say linear, the deformation can be like in this way. It can be represented like this. So it got linearly deflated kind of a thing. So there is a pressure on this fluid particle and it got deformed into a linear one. When we say deformation in terms of an angular, so it can be, can be like with some angle it got deformed. So it got deformed at, suppose there is a force acting at the corner of this solid fluid body. So it got deformed by some angle. So that's an angular representation of deformation. So there can be two types of deformation on a fluid. It can be linear, it can be angular. Now, so there all these categories. Suppose if it is occurring, it can be pure translational kind of a fluid can be occurring. There can be pure rotational kind of a fluid. There can be the deformation of the fluid. Now, that deformation can be in terms of a linear deformation, or there can be in the terms of an angular deformation. Now, let's suppose we have a fluid motion in which the rotation of the fluid element is superimposed on this translation. Now, let's consider a case where the fluid is being translated, that is, there is a transition of the fluid occurring, that is, this thing is occurring, and at the same time the fluid is also got rotated. The fluid is also got rotated. Like, for example, suppose कोई pipe है, there is a pipe occurring, there is a circular pipe occurring, and the fluid is flowing in this direction, and at the same time during this motion the fluid is also being rotated. The fluid is having a centrifugal rotation kind of a thing within the pipe. So that's a case where we are considering that there is a translation and at the same time the rotation occurring. Then what happens? Now, for that case, let's consider we have a fluid represented in 2 dimensions, and at any given time dt, there is a fluid element, that is A, represented by A, capital A, and B. There is a fluid element represented by this point A, capital A, and B. And let's suppose let's say this distance is dx and this distance is dy. Now let's suppose this fluid where the transition is occurring, and at the same time, let's say it transited from this particular point to this particular point. It got transition from this point towards this point. Let's say this represented as this thing, and at the same time when it got translated, it got rotated by an angle, some certain angle. Let's say now that angle is represented by this thing. That is, now the same fluid element which was represented by A, capital B, is now represented by A dash, capital A dash, and B dash. So that is when the fluid transited from this point to this point, and during that transition it got rotated by an angle, this angle, where this angle is represented as beta, and let's say this angle is represented by alpha. Clear? So let's say this was dx, this was dy, and so when it moves from this point to this point, let's say it traveled the distance. It traveled this distance, which is represented by dy dt, and when it moved in the x direction, it traveled a distance vx dt. That means from this point to this point, when it moves in the x direction, it moves by a displacement vx dt, and when it moves in the y direction, it moves with the displacement dy, which is nothing but v dy dt. Also, the two angles of rotation, that is alpha and beta, let's assume they are not same. They are not same because let's assume that there is some sort of a deformation occurring. So at the same time, when the fluid was being rotated, it got deformed, the fluid got deformed, and that type of deformation is the angular deformation. That means, so these two angles, that is alpha and beta, are not same in that case. So the average rate of rotation, so the average, let's say the average rate of rotation, let me write rotation. So the average rate of rotation in time dt, because it moves in a certain time dt, will, let's say, represented by omega, which is nothing but alpha 1 plus alpha plus beta average in a time dt. So let's say this is the average rate of rotation. Also, if we take alpha, now let's find out alpha. Alpha will be the arc divided by the radius. So alpha, this angle alpha is nothing but the arc formed by the radius, this radius. So let's say this alpha is nothing but del Vy by del x into dt, and beta is minus del Vx by del y into dt. So let's assume that the angles are represented by this thing. So if we substitute this values of alpha and beta in this rate of rotation, so W is nothing but half of del Vy by del x minus del Vx by del y into dt and divide by dt. So this dt gets cancelled up. So the omega comes out to be half of del Vy by del x minus del Vx by del y. And this equation is called as equation of, this equation is a very important equation. It's known as equation of vorticity. Equation of vorticity, that is the rotational, and at the same time the fluid is transferred. It is being traveled from one point to another, and at the same time it is in the circular motion. Along with it's being deformed, and the fluid is being, subject to external force, where it's being subject to move in a circular motion, and the body of the fluid got deformed. So that it's called the equation of vorticity, or it's also called as, or such type of flow is called as rotational flow. So such type of flow is called rotational flow. And if there is no rotation, then what happens to equation of vorticity? So if there is no rotation, then omega will be 0, and then the equation of vorticity will be dy by dx is equal to dv x by dy. It's it will be represented as this thing, or you can say minus equal to 0. Then it can be this. So if there is no rotation, so if there is a rotation, we have the equation of vorticity, and if there is no rotation, we have this equation, and this equation is also called as potential flow. It's also known as potential flow or velocity potential. Or velocity potential. So remember this thing, that potential flow is basically the condition of irrotational flow. When we say potential flow, it means the flow is irrotational kind of a nature. Clear? So it's a irrotational kind of a flow. Now, if potential is represented by phi, so we can say that Vx is nothing but del phi by del x, and Vy as del phi by del y, and you can say Vz also as del phi by del z. So that's for the Cartesian systems, and or for rectangular systems coordinates, and for polar coordinates it's Vr as del phi by del r and V theta as del phi by r del theta and Vz as del phi by del z. So that's for the polar coordinate. So remember the equation of the potential flow. It's nothing but the condition of your air rotational flow. So air rotational means angle of vorticity is equal to 0. That is the angular rotation omega. It's the angular rate of rotation is 0 in a potential flow. Now moving further.
सर ये फाई क्या लिखा है आपने ऊपर इसमें पोटेंशियल फ्लो?
हाँ potential flow. I'm coming to this potential flow का concept होता क्या है?
सर फाई जो आपने लिख रखा है.
हाँ ये phi is your potential flow. मतलब फ्लूइड मैकेनिक्स में फाई को हम नॉर्मली पोटेंशियल फ्लो से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं.
ओके सर. और सर जो रोटेशनल फ्लो था उसके लिए अभी नहीं लिखा हमने जो इक्वेशन है.
ओमेगा इक्वेशन ऑफ वोर्टिसिटी.
अच्छा ये वाली जो है
ये रोटेशनल फ्लो की कंडीशन है. ये कंडीशन रोटेशनल फ्लो की है बस.
ओके.
जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. एक फ्लूइड फ्लो कर रहा है. उसमें उसका वेलोसिटी कंपोनेंट गिवन है vx dy. ठीक है. You need to check whether there is a rotational kind of a thing occurring or not. फ्लूइड रोटेशनल है या नहीं है. तो उसके लिए क्या करोगे? इसको विद रिस्पेक्ट टू dy by dx करोगे और dvx by dy करोगे. ठीक है. देन यू सब्ट्रैक्ट इट. अगर दैट सब्ट्रैक्शन कम्स out to be not equal to 0, so that means omega की कुछ वैल्यू आ रही है. So that is your equation of vorticity. और equation of vorticity है तो fluid rotate कर रहा है as it is being flown in a pipe or in any given dimension. और अगर equation of vorticity equal to 0 आ जाती है, so that kind of a nature is irrotational flow. ठीक है?
Okay. Yes sir.
Now moving further. We have another concept which is called as stream function. ये तो पढ़ा होगा. Stream function. Now stream function very simple. इसका symbol है psi, represented very easily. Psi. It's basically represented for 2-dimension steady flow for incompressible fluids. Stream function is represented for 2-dimension steady flow incompressible fluids. Now this psi, we say 2 dimensions, so obviously let's talk about the xy plane only. Now this psi is if a velocity vector is occurring in the vx direction, then it's d psi by dy, and if it is in the y direction, it's negative of d psi by dx. So remember this. So stream function, क्या significance है? I'll let you know in just a minute. Just for the timing, just remember that it's represented for 2D flow, steady state flow for incompressible fluids, that is for Newtonian fluids only. And the velocity component in the x direction will be nothing but d psi by dy, and in the y direction it's negative d psi by dx. Now these velocity components x and y. Now let's suppose if psi, it's a function of x and y, so d psi can be written as del psi by del x of dx plus del psi by del y of dy. And what are these? These are basically vx dx minus v by dy. So that is d psi. So d psi is nothing but vx dx of minus, I think I've written it wrong. It's minus it's d psi by dx, so it's minus v by dx plus vx dy. It is this thing. So that is d psi. Now for incompressible fluids, we already said that what is dy by dx? It's nothing but v by vx, as we have started over here somewhere. Yes, we started this thing for streamlines. What is dy by dx? It's vx by vy. So dy by dx is v by vx. And what do you get from here? We get dx dy minus v by dx equal to 0. So if you compare equation 1 and equation 2, so if you compare equation 1 and equation 2, this is the from a streamline, and this is the equation of stream function. So if you compare equation 1 and 2, so what do you get? We get that d psi is equal to 0. So this means psi is constant. So that means along the streamline, along the any given streamline, the stream function is constant and it can be represented by any numerical value. That means हर एक streamline की एक अपनी stream function होगा. हर एक streamline का एक अपना एक stream function होगा. That is represented by psi1, psi2 और psi3. ठीक है? So remember this. Along the streamline, the stream function is always constant. Or stream functions, they can also be or streamlines can also be represented as the lines of constant stream functions. You can write it over here that streamlines, they are basically representation of lines of constant stream functions. Lines of constant stream functions. Now suppose,
सर
हाँ जी बेटा,
सर एक स्पेसिफिक स्ट्रीमलाइन का एक कांस्टेंट साई होगा ना?
हाँ,
और मतलब जैसे काफी सारे मतलब स्ट्रीमलाइन आसपास हैं तो उन सब का सेम हो सकता है ये साई?
इट कैन बी सेम. नहीं, इट कैन नॉट बी सेम.
सर वो यूनिक होगा हर स्ट्रीमलाइन के लिए?
हर एक स्ट्रीमलाइन का अलग अलग स्ट्रीम फंक्शन होगा. नो डाउट उनकी जो वैल्यू हो सकती है वो थोड़ी सी डिफरेंट हो सकती है. किसी की 9 हो सकती है, किसी की 9.2 हो सकती है, किसी की 9.1 हो सकती है, लेकिन जो स्ट्रीम फंक्शन है वो सभी स्ट्रीमलाइंस का अलग अलग होगा.
ओके सर. और
अगर सेम हो गया, सेम किस कंडीशन में आएगा? सेम उस कंडीशन में आएगा अगर फ्लूइड मेरा स्टेशनरी है.
ओके सर.
फ्लूइड स्टेशनरी है, ऑल द स्ट्रीमलाइंस आर पैरेलल, देयर इज नो मोशन, कुछ नहीं अकर हो रहा, देन उस केस में स्ट्रीम फंक्शन सेम है.
ओके सर.
ठीक है
सर आपने dy इक्वल टू 0 ये किससे लिखा है आपने?
ये देखना, स्ट्रीमलाइन की कंडीशन ये थी, ऊपर लिखा था ना, ये देख, आई विल शो यू. एक मिनट, ये देख, ये किया था ना स्ट्रीमलाइंस के लिए.
Yes
For
sir.
a 2D fluid, dx by dx is dy by vy. So from here, if you take the slope, that is dy by dx, it's vx by dy. ठीक है? इस कंडीशन को मैंने यहाँ पे लगाया. यहाँ से what do you get? vx dy minus dx vy equal to 0. वो यहाँ पे पुट किया तो यहाँ से आया dy d psi equal to 0. psi equal to 0 means psi is constant. So हर एक स्ट्रीमलाइन के लिए एक उसका अपना अलग से स्ट्रीम फंक्शन है.
ओके सर.
सर ये मतलब अभी तो हम स्ट्रीमलाइन का केस कंसिडर कर रहे थे, तब ये सारे कांस्टेंट आ गए थे, बट बाकी अगर कोई केस कंसिडर करें तो नहीं होगा?
बाकी कैसे
सर? मतलब लैमिनार में यूजुअली स्ट्रीमलाइन,
लैमिनार में ही यूजुअली स्ट्रीमलाइंस दिखती हैं और स्ट्रीम फंक्शन होते हैं.
अच्छा, तो सर फिर बाकियों के लिए डिफाइंड ही नहीं है ट्रांसलेशन और टर्बुलेंट के लिए?
नहीं, वो उसमें तो इंटरमिक्सिंग होगी ना, ऑब्वियसली. अगर इंटरमिक्सिंग हो रही है वो स्ट्रीमलाइन ही नहीं है.
यस सर. ओके.
ठीक है. नाउ सपोज मेरे पास दो स्ट्रीमलाइंस है, एक इस डायरेक्शन में है एंड एक ये है. ठीक है. लेट्स से दिस इज साइड एंड लेट्स से दिस इज साइड प्लस d side. Different है ना? Now one is side, the other one is side plus d side, and at any given point between distance ds apart, ठीक है, it's entering with the velocity v. The fluid is entering with the velocity v across this distance ds. So let's say इस velocity के दो components हैं, one is vy and the other one is vx. ठीक है, x डायरेक्शन में इसका कंपोनेंट है vx, y डायरेक्शन में it's represented as vy. Similarly, this distance ds, let's say it's break it down to this o. Let's say this is dy and this is dx. This is dx and this is distance dy. Now, if the flow across AB, what will be the flow across AB? That is flow across AO plus your flow across OB. अगर मेरे को flow across AB निकालनी है, so I can say, let's say the fluid what is crossing AO, that is destined, and how much the fluid is crossing OB. So if fluid is across AB, let's say is your V into ds, is V into ds. So across AO will be, let's say, minus Vy into dx plus Vx into dy. So we are taking negative, that means the y is in the downward direction. Negative sign means the velocity Vy is in the negative direction. Velocity Vy is in the negative direction. So Vds, the flow across this distance AB, is nothing but the flow across AO, the distance AO, and the flow across the distance OB, which is nothing but let's say V into ds is minus Vy dx. Y velocity, because the velocity which is perpendicular to AO is Vy and it's in the downward direction, let's say negative, and the velocity which is perpendicular to distance dy OB is, let's say, Vx. So it's minus Vy dx plus Vx dy. And according to streamline, what is this? This is equal to d psi. So V ds is nothing but d psi, or velocity into the displacement ds is your volumetric flow rate d phi. So stream functions can also define as the flux or the flow rate of the fluid. So stream function represents the flux or the flow rate between any two streamlines. So कोई भी दो streamlines है, उनमें अगर flow rate निकालना है कितना है, that is nothing but equal to the difference between these two streamlines, that is d psi. So that will represents the flow rate of the fluid flowing between those two streamlines. Clear? Or you can also say it as the discharge per unit thickness of the flow. Discharge per unit thickness of the flow, which is nothing but meter square per second. Okay, so the units is meter square per second. Now also, if you remember the equation of continuity, it's del Vx by del x plus del Vy by del y equal to 0. Now what is Vx? We all know Vx is del psi by del y, and what is Vy? Minus del psi by del x. So if you substitute the values of Vx over here and Vy over here, what you get is del square psi over del x del y minus del square psi over del y del x is equal to 0. So that's also the stream functions in terms of equation of continuity. That is also stream functions in terms of equation of continuity, that is represented by equation A. So stream functions can be represented in all these things. Now, what are stream functions? Stream functions basically they represent nothing, but they represent steady flow lines, which are called as streamlines. So stream functions, they basically represent steady flow streamlines in 2D. In 2D. So you can write stream functions are two dimensions, steady flow, steady incompressible flow, whether the fluid is viscous or inviscid, or whether the fluid is rotational or irrotational. So stream functions are basically, they represent the streamlines. Clear? So we'll continue with the velocity, potential and potential function in the next lecture, and then see what's the relation between potential flow and the stream functions. Clear? Thank you so much.